When this job popped up, what most excited you and intrigued you about it?
Honestly, just K State in general. I remember as a player formerly in the Big 12, just what K State was, and every time we lined up against K State, you knew what you were going to get, and just an opportunity to be a part of that, to come in and help build it from the ground floor up. It excited me more than anything. And also just familiarity with a few of the staff members and Coach Van Malone, Coach Buddy White, Coach Jason Ray. And, we all had, previous experience working together, and they couldn't tell me enough good things about Coach Kleiman. And, when I got a chance to talk to him on the phone, and my wife and I spoke with Coach Kleiman, got a chance to see for myself, and it got me more excited. So, very blessed and honored to be here, but the work is just beginning.
I know every strength coach has a few certain things they emphasize with players. What are your biggest things that you work on with these guys, both in the weight room and just when you're building relationships with them when you're not working out?
It's just that, it's building relationships. Everything after that, is just extra. Because the one thing that I have to come in and learn the guys. I have to come in and show them respect and demand respect in return. And then from that point on, it's about building trust. You can only push a person only as far as they trust you. So putting as many deposits in that trust bank as possible, just to where, these guys, they don't care how much we know as coaches until they know how much we care as coaches. So just, coming in, being authentic, being genuine, and showing them genuine love and care. And then that's when the work can begin, because they know that when they're being pushed, it's coming from an honest and genuine place.
How about in the weight room? Are there any specific exercises or things that you stress that are uniquely yours?
I wouldn't say anything is unique. I'm I'm a guy that I know enough to be dangerous, and I surround myself with experts. But when it comes to just program philosophy, I didn't invent anything that we do. I just simply adopted. And the thing is really this first week, my goal is to come in and evaluate where we are as a program from a physical standpoint, as far as what we do on the field and what we do in the weight room. From there, I sit down with the position coaches, the coordinators, the head coach, and just get an understanding of philosophy, what each side of the ball looks like. And from a special team standpoint, from there, I get with the athletic training staff just to understand limitations, different injury histories, and everything of that nature, in order to put the plan together. So the thing I guess makes a successful strength and conditioning coach, I would have to say, is being adaptable, to what the hand that you're dealt. So we want to make sure that we come in and not just prescribe a program that worked for another university or work for another place that we've been. We want to come in and figure out what the needs are here at K-State. And then from there, work backwards, begin with the end in mind, and then develop the plan in order to get these guys to where they can be the most successful on the field. So what that looks like is different for each position group, and we're still learning what those expectations are.
All right. Thank you, Trumain, and welcome again.
Thank you very much.
Fitz?
Hey, Coach, welcome to K-State. How quickly did this come together from hearing about the opening to actually packing a bag and moving to Manhattan, Kansas?
It was really quick. But man, honestly, I'm a big believer in my faith, and with that, I know that God has me here for a reason, and I can't explain that. I never hesitated, just because I knew that this was sent from up above, and me just sitting here today, and I'm just so appreciative and so thankful. It went from having a conversation one night, with just speculating interest, to Coach Kleiman reaching out to the head coach I was working with at the time. Then Coach Kleiman and I spoke, then our family spoke, and I did the interview, and okay, all right, let's get the background check and all of the human resource information, and get this done. And I loaded the car up I loaded my truck up with my car behind it on Friday, and I pulled into Manhattan, Kansas on Saturday evening. So it was a quick turnaround from Wednesday learning about it to Saturday getting here.
That's a fun drive. Is it good to be back in the Big 12, back to kind of your roots?
No doubt, no question. I mean, I enjoyed the winters in Florida. Don't get me wrong. The 80-degree winter, then where you can go to the beach on the weekend, it was nice. But being back close to where it all started for me, and more importantly, now that my wife and I have a son, him getting an opportunity to know where Dad played ball and in this league, and just the importance of the Big 12 and the Midwest in general. This is a place where I want my son to grow up. I want him to be able to run out of that tunnel if that's what he chooses to do, or if it's on the baseball diamond. But he's going to have a closet full of purple here within the next few weeks.
You've been on that coaching kind of carousel where you go there, you get up there, then suddenly you're in Florida. I assume that you're very hopeful this is a place that you're going to be a while.
I'm not hopeful. I'm pretty sure of it, because I know that this, like I said, this is where we're called to be, and I know that, Kansas State, everyone, Kansas State family and Wildcat Nation don't know me very much. They know my career path and just know kind of my journey. But the thing is that, everywhere I've been, I've give 100% effort of everything that I have every single day. We do that here with Coach Kleiman under his direction. We're going to be here for as long as it takes, and so I know that, with the history of Coach Snyder and, everything that he brought to this university, he's done a tremendous job. So not comparing ourselves to that regime, but, wanting to create this new culture, this new environment, just to where this standard is going to be one that Wildcat family is going to be very proud of.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Derek?
Hey, Coach, welcome to Manhattan. Would you say you see your most important duty as maybe setting the culture for the program or maximizing performance, or how do you balance the two out?
Well, the thing is you have to look at it. Obviously, if you don't have a culture in place, then, performance will suffer. I've heard just the opposite also, to where your talent can take you places where your character can't, where your character can take you places to where you can't talent. I can't think of it exactly, but the bottom line is if we don't get it right from a cultural standpoint, then anything we build on top of it won't matter at all. So, we have to make sure that our importance and our focus is on making sure these young men know how to do things right off the field, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Coach Kleiman says that, and, I firmly believe that. So, we get these young men to figure out that, the small details of every little thing in their life matters, whether it's going to class, whether it's going to a tutor on time, showing up to a rehab appointment, or showing up to weights on time. Then it directly impacts what happens on the practice field and reflects on what happens on the game field. So that has to be our priority coming in.
Thanks, Coach. And what would you say was your first interaction like when you addressed the team for the first time? What was that message, and what was that feeling?
Well, it started off with Ben Newman, talking to the team, and I think I have 2 pages worth of notes just from that talk alone. So I was pretty fired up before I got up there. But no, just talking to the team, I didn't want to get up there and sell myself or make it about me, because at the end of the day, it's not about me. I'm here in a duty of service. I'm here to serve these young men and help them navigate life and, learn tools that are going to help them for the rest of their life. And the beauty of it is we do it, our common vision and purpose is through the game of football. So, football is a great teacher of life. It's taught me and myself and all of my teammates that I played with throughout the years so many valuable lessons that they're too many to count. So it's on me to share that wisdom with these young men. So that was, my main focus in addressing the team, is that, I'm here to help you guys get right and win championships, but that starts with building relationships. So.
Thanks, Coach.
Michael?
Yeah, Trumain, thanks for bringing some Florida weather with you up here to Kansas. Does your approach to any lifting change with the style of football that Kansas State plays versus Central Florida?
Well, the thing is about the game of football, and it was South Florida actually, but the thing with the game of football is that, being here in the Big 12, it's a line of scrimmage league. So the thing is you got to win up front in order to win at all. So when we talk about, as far as the spread offense or slow ground and pound or run and shoot, whatever you have, I'm not a football coach, so I'm not going to pretend to be the expert here. But I do know that from playing in the Big 12 that you have to win up front to even have a shot. So, a lot of our focus is going to be making sure those guys up front are strong and physical and they're able to move people backwards. Okay. And as far as the big skill position, the tight ends and the fullbacks, that's unique, a unique position that I hadn't coached in the past few years, but I am familiar with it because that was a style of offense that I was in before. And so, but tight ends, fullbacks, linebackers, those big skill positions, they got to be able to pack a punch in the box, but still be able to move well out in space, because with the teams that spread it around, they're going to try to find mismatches, and they're going to try to get those slower moving guys to cover the fast guys on offense. So those guys got to be able to move well out in space as well as be able to hit when it comes to time to deliver a blow in the box. And then the skill position. Skill is skill no matter where you go. Those guys got to be able to move. They got to run. They got to be able to cut. They got to be able to have, what we call that repeat sprint ability. So if a guy runs a 4.3, on a laser in the first quarter of a game, then he has to be able to run that 4.3 in the fourth quarter in order for us to have a chance. And so those are primary focuses that we address within the training of what we do. But football across the board is going to have a lot of similarities, and for us, it starts up front.
And is it appealing to get into a program that's still trying to adapt some of Coach Clement's philosophies in what'll be year 3?
Well, I don't really think that's for me to answer. Obviously I'm the strength and conditioning coach, so my focus is going to be on preparing the guys for whatever style of system, Coach Kleiman and the rest of the coaches, decide to go with. So.
Thank you, Trumain.
Got 3 hands raised. We'll finish off with those 3, starting with John.
Yeah, Trumain, I know you mentioned briefly, you remember a little bit about K-State from your playing days. I was curious if you have specific memories that come to mind of when you guys played K-State, or just what kind of you knew about the school from your playing days.
I did. I definitely remember a guy that wore number 43 by the name of Darren Sproles. I remember L. Roberson. I remember Taco Wallace. I remember quite a few of those guys, just because they came with a physicality. And so there weren't a lot of household names on Kansas State's football roster. But the thing is, they were all blue collar guys, and no matter who was in that game, you were going to get 110% of whatever they had in the tank. They didn't take plays off. They didn't, shy away from contact. They didn't turn down hits. And so that's really the biggest memories that I have of K-State. And I remember one year we came here to play in Manhattan, and we had a pretty good punter. I remember Cole he was leading the country, I want to say, in punts. And, that was back before the stadium renovation took place. And, so he was averaging, 45 plus on punt. And so we punted one time here in Manhattan, and the punt went up, and as soon as it got over the top of the stadium, it actually curled and came backwards and netted as a negative 5-yard punt. So I do remember that pretty vividly. But does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed that. Thank you, Trumain.
Yeah.
Kellis?
That's awesome. I need to go back and find that game footage. But hey, if I could embarrass you for a second, how much you look in pretty good shape. How much can you squat? How much can you bench?
That's the thing. I don't load it up like that anymore. I can still bench around 385. As far as squat, I do more of a speed squat. So I never load more than 315 on the bar for the squat, just because at this point I'm just trying to maintain the remains. And but if I had to guess it as a 1 rep max, it'd be somewhere in the mid 400s.
All right. Well, those are impressive numbers to me. So, hey, thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm sure Kels could hit those numbers as well. Let's finish off here with Ryan.
Hey, Trumain, how was Van Malone in
We're
getting
losing
you
you, Ryan.
K-State in terms of
You're breaking up.
both Houston natives and working together at Oklahoma State?
I'm sorry, I heard the last part of the question. Could you repeat the
Hmm.
question, please?
Yeah, Trumain, I was asking how key was the background as Houston natives and then the fact you worked together at Oklahoma State?
Oh, it was huge, man. Just because, I mean, there's only a few people in the world that, that could have called my phone and I would have, I was in a really good situation where I just came from. Don't get me wrong. And, Van Malone's one of those people that, is deeper than coaching. Obviously us being from Houston, us having ties all the way back to Stillwater early in my career, that played a big factor. But I think the biggest factor is, who he was and who Coach Wyatt and Coach Ray are. They are as men. And so I'm all about surrounding myself with great people. And so when I was presented the opportunity to come rejoin forces with those guys, I knew that it was going to be about a lot more than football. Being a proud husband and a proud dad now, those lessons that I don't have everything figured out, and I'm comfortable saying that. So I want to make sure that I'm surrounded by, men that believe the same things that I believe, that have the same things that I'm trying to achieve. They've had long careers, but they've also been able to sustain strong families, and still be great dads to their children. And that's the kind of people that I want to be around, because that's the kind of person that I am.
And then I also want to ask you real quick, in your coaching career, who was maybe the biggest freak that you've had in the weight room?
Oh, wow. Biggest freak I had in the weight room. He's actually still in college.
Oh,
Yeah, a guy by the name of Jonathan Marshall. He's at Arkansas right now, but I mean, he was a defensive tackle that weighed, when I had him, he was 308 pounds, had like a 32-inch vertical. He could squat over 700 pounds, bench close to 500. And I mean, it was just unreal, the amount of talent this young man was blessed with. So.
well, part of the reason I asked that was because I knew you were at South Carolina, and I wanted to know where Jadeveon Clowney ranked in that.
Oh, I wasn't at South Carolina. I was at South Carolina State University.
State. Oh man, I'm sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong state. I apologize.
Yeah.
Wait, Trumain, thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.